Rise and shine on Australia's Vision Christian Radio.
Shelley, and we've had a call out from a man called Brian. He's in Chinchilla, and he's told us there's a community chaplain team that they are building. This is Chaplaincy Appreciation Week. So, Brian, thank you for letting us know, and welcome to Rise and Shine.
Yeah, g'day guys. Yeah, just didn't know whether you'd heard about this or not, but it's pretty exciting.
No, hadn't heard about it. So thanks so much for getting in touch. Tell us more about this community chaplains team.
So the idea is that we train a team of chaplains, and whenever there's a crisis, like we have floods and fires and all sorts of stuff happens out here, seems like, and so we've got a team of people ready to go into especially the evacuation centres, or just to circulate around the community, just to talk to people and to be there for them, and to start to meet their needs and point them in the right direction and just generally help them, yeah.
What a fantastic initiative, because as you say, we live in Australia, the land of the floods and fires and all sorts of disasters and even just big things that go on that are human-induced as well. And we really need people out there speaking words of life and hope into our community. Is this an initiative of a particular church, or are churches working together? How's it all working?
Yeah, okay. So Country Hope Church in Chinchilla is a great church. We've got 4 locations, and our pastor's really connected into the community. And he's actually done over 40 weddings and funerals in the last 12 months.
Man.
And most of them are outside the church, those people. So, it's got amazing community connections. And we also have an amazing counselling department, which has several staff run by an amazing lady called Christy Howarth, and she's somewhat behind this, and Chaplaincy Australia, just to raise up a team so that we're really well prepared for the next crisis that happens,
Well, you are. Chinchilla is a country town, and it's a beautiful town. I've been to Chinchilla. I do like it there. But the reality is, Brian, you probably know this as well as I do, the stats are not good in regional Australia, particularly for young males struggling with mental health and poor choices they can make as a result of that. So there is a real need in country Australia, isn't there, for support such as this?
Yeah, definitely. It's a bit of a new initiative in terms of because ACC has got behind it, and Alpha Crucis College with the training of the chaplains, and I'm not sure how many we've got so far. I think we've got about 10, and they're all ages too. There's even like young mums in there, and all sorts of people that are happy to be a part of it, and getting all trained up now. And it's just a great initiative.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Should be more of it. I love it, Brian.
Yeah.
What a blessing.
There we go. Watch this space.
Yeah, what a blessing for your community, and it's great to be on the front foot with that rather than, scrambling after there is a disaster. You're there and ready and prepared. And I've got to say too, I think those skills that those people will be learning will be helpful in their everyday lives too, not just when there's a big, disaster that strikes.
Oh, so true. Just one example, we recently started our first little outreach, inverted commas, at the local show here, and they're big in the bush, the shows.
Yeah.
Just had a tent, and we went and I didn't personally do this, but our leader went to the show committee and put the proposal to them, can we have a chaplaincy tent at the show? And one guy was there, the policeman, he put his hand up saying, this is the greatest idea ever, we got to run with this. And basically everyone said, yeah, we want this, we want chaplains at the show. So just one example, the community wants these people. They just, because it's like a lot of people don't have a connection to a church or a pastor per se, but it's just a great way into the community just to, just to serve people and be Jesus to people out there in the world.
Yeah. Brian, just listening to you, we've spoken to an army chaplain today, we've spoken to a hospital chaplain today on the show, now we're speaking to you. I just feel so blessed to live in a country like Australia with so many people, who just want to step up and just support and love and care for people, whether it be in a crisis like you guys are dealing with or in a hospital, whether they're serving on the front lines in a war zone or a humanitarian exercise if they're in the military. And, Australia is just so blessed. There are many countries in the world this does not happen. There are not teams like this. There are not support networks like this, especially run by volunteers. And I just want to say, mate, thank you for letting us know about this, and please pass on to your pastor and the people behind this our respect and admiration for what they're doing, and all of the Vision family across Australia. Can I say, let's all say, hey, Lord, bless this new initiative and let many more initiatives like this spring up all across Australia in regional areas. So, Brian, thank you so much for joining us today from Chinchilla, a beautiful little country town in Australia, and letting us know about this great initiative called the Community Chaplains Team in Chinchilla.
No problem. God bless you guys.
And now we've got an army chaplain.
Yeah, there's so many different types of chaplains blessing all sorts of different types of people all around Australia. And it's a privilege to have Stephen Brooks, who is an army chaplain with the Australian Army, with us. Thanks for joining us today, Stephen.
Oh, look, it's a great pleasure. Thanks very much for inviting me on your program this morning.
Yeah, and we do want to just recognise it is the anniversary of D-Day today,
Yes.
the 6th of June, 1944. Wasn't really an Australian operation. I think there's a few Aussies floating around on D-Day, but it was primarily Americans, Canadians and British. But it's still good to remember these important dates, isn't it, Stephen?
Oh, of course. I mean, one of the most important things I think is there's a memorial up in Townsville that says we called and they served. And I think, it's certainly up for preceding generations to make sure that we remember them and respect what they did for us in the past.
Absolutely. Now, we obviously need to ask you, Stephen, why did you become an army chaplain?
Oh, look, it's a really mixed bag, isn't it? I mean, most things are like that. Part of it was the adventure, part of it was testing myself, but I think I was just drawn to it because of the sacrifice, and I think there's a long history and a sacred history of Australians standing up for what is good and right. And as I often said, the worst thing that happened is good men just allow evil to continue, and I think that's definitely what attracted me to it. And obviously as a priest and minister, also to provide that solace of faith to people.
So tell us more about your job. What do you actually do, like on a day-to-day kind of basis?
Well, it's a little bit different now, but because obviously as you move through chaplaincy, what we have is a support chaplaincy, and that really is our bread and butter. So I'll probably speak to you more about that. I do more, currently at the moment, I also head up recruiting for Army chaplaincy, and the editor of a journal, and as a performance coach also for chaplains in exercise. But the role of a chaplain is really diverse. It is about providing support to soldiers. It may be, and their families. It may be, dealing with crisis situations. It may be supporting them during difficult times. But I think one of the most important things about chaplaincy is about being a presence. So that might be in the base, it might be a family home, it might be a church on a Sunday, but really very foundationally what the role of the chaplain is to be alongside the soldiers in the battlefield. And so our chaplains not only need to be qualified and have all the experience, but they need to have that commitment to, in a sense, get their hands dirty and be alongside the soldiers through their trials and tribulations.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't realise how important that is. On a different, in a different space altogether, I spoke to a Ukrainian chaplain who's involved in the Ukrainian conflict, and he said that chaplains there are so important to the young men, primarily on the front lines. They're providing so much support that they almost couldn't do without them, and so we can't underestimate the impact you guys have. And you just mentioned, though, that you actually are recruiting. Are you guys actively looking for more chaplains now for the Army?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I think people got to realise, too, the age demographic of chaplains is I think about the average age is the late 40s, early 50s. And part of that is because of the experience required, people coming later in life to a vocation of ministry. So we're constantly looking for good people to come into chaplaincy, and like many things, chaplaincy is not for everyone, and it really needs that commitment and willingness to serve in whatever circumstance and environment we're called to.
Yeah.
To do.
Well, this is National Chaplaincy Appreciation Week, and can I just say, on behalf of all of our Vision family across Australia, we appreciate you and all the chaplains in defence, not just Army, but the Air Force and the Navy as well. I know you guys do a vital role. I've got a few friends in the military. I know you guys do an amazing job, and we just want to say thank you for what you do. And if someone is listening to this now and thinking, you know what, I'd like to look into becoming a chaplain in the military, what's the best place for them to start that journey?
Oh, look, I think pop onto the ADF Careers website and have a look on there. There's an area there for chaplaincy. It's just not Army, obviously. It's Navy and Air Force. They might know a chaplain or their medicine might know a chaplain to get in contact and start discussing that. But we're only too happy to assist and help them understand what the requirements are and how they might be able to apply. And I think it's also important to realise too they'll need the support of their sending community or their denomination.
Yeah.
That's really important.
Their local church, yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant, Stephen. Hey, we want to thank you so much for your time, brother. And again, just well done. You're doing an amazing job, you and all the chaplains in defence. And just thanks for sharing a little bit of what you do today on Rise and Shine.
Good. Thank you. Again, thank you very much. We really appreciate the support of the community and the great work you're doing. Thank you.
And I believe we've got a chaplain on the line right now.
We do. We've got Don McPherson, who's the chaplaincy coordinator for hospitals with Carinity Care. Don, thanks for joining us this morning.
It's a pleasure, Shelley.
So tell us more about your role there and the role of chaplains in hospitals. It's obviously a time when people are at their most vulnerable, and it's a time that chaplains can really speak some words of life and wisdom into these people's lives, isn't it?
Absolutely, Shelley. Yeah, look, I don't know anybody who lines up for being in hospital just for fun of it. And it's always a challenging time. Sometimes people are facing life-changing decisions, and if there can be somebody there to walk through with them, give them some hope, give them some companionship, it is known to be something that makes a difference, a big difference.
And what led you into this area, Don? Like, not everybody puts their hand up and says, I want to be a hospital chaplain. So how did you end up in this space?
Yeah, sure. I was a pastor in churches, and at a certain time I felt, okay, the Lord's saying, finish up where you are. And I said, okay, Lord, where next? And then this role came up, which just spoke to me as something that was exactly what I loved doing, being with people in difficult places and taking the love of God into that space and saying to people, hey, you might feel alone, but guess what? God's with you and people are with you, and we want to make a difference.
Yeah, it's such an interesting one for people. As you say, it is their most vulnerable times. What kind of things are you able to say to people? Because you work in a Christian setting as well, hey, so you're probably able to be a little bit more forthright in the things that you can say?
Look, the aim of all chaplaincy is to meet the needs of the person where they're at. And sometimes that person is struggling with spiritual issues, and if they want to talk about those things, of course, we're happy to tell them as much or as little as they need to know to address the needs that they have. Some people just want some company and some friendship, and it's not our job to be sort of preaching at people when they're feeling vulnerable and not even able to cope with big stuff that is troubling them. But just as often, people really are wanting to address the spiritual issues. Sometimes, we never stop, keep going, and then suddenly find ourselves in hospital and people start thinking about stuff that they haven't thought about for years. And if they're asking, we're there to tell them the good news of hope and faith and life in the Lord. But, that's something we allow them to initiate. It's not something that we go pushing ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a lonely place for a lot of people as well. Even if you do have visitors there during the day, there's still nighttime, and, you know, it's sad to see the visitors leave oftentimes for that person. And, you know, it can be a really lonely time when they're at their most vulnerable, all these things going through their minds. So it's an absolute blessing to have you and your team going into the hospitals and being a wonderful chaplaincy voice. And just being a human being in the room with them is a massive thing.
Exactly, yeah. And look, the medical staff do a fantastic job. They absolutely do. And the patients will tell you that. The people in the hospital say they're wonderful, but they're busy. You know, they're just on the road. And when it's the role of the chaplain to come and tune in, listen to what's going on for them, and be a loving presence there, they really appreciate it. I've been in this role for so many years. And, you know, you can count on one hand the times that somebody said, yeah, I don't want to talk to you, because everybody's happy for a chat, and just enables them to feel human again when everything around them is making them feel so out of it, so unusual, you know, medical procedures and all those things. And just to have someone that they can talk to about normal things, they appreciate it so much. And we're thrilled to be there to make a difference for people.
Yeah, and you know what? It is National Chaplaincy Appreciation Week, and I just want to appreciate you and your team, Don, because it just, to me, I'm just thinking, what a blessed society we live in, that in our hospital system, people like you will just come alongside and just listen, talk, pray if need be. I mean, there's many countries in the world this does not happen. I've been in a hospital in overseas countries, I won't say which one, and I tell you what, it wasn't that happy a place, and there was no one like you visiting, helping me out. So, Don, can I just say, on behalf of all of our Vision family across Australia, thank you for what you and your team do, for being such a blessing, really being the hands and feet of Jesus in the hospital system on this National Chaplain Appreciation Week.
Thanks so much, Andy and Shelley, and we love to do it, and appreciate people's prayers to be able to do it as effectively as we can.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.